Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Bhagavadgita satsang. So let us continue our contemplation based on the talks by sriprabhuji and Purna Yoga. Today we will take up the question number 8 from chapter 3, that is Karma Yoga. So the question 8 begins with, describe the below Vivekas that a Karma Yogi has realized. So there are 5 Vivekas. So you can actually begin by describing what is Viveka according to you. So let us first begin with that question. What is Viveka according to you? So let each one of us first describe that. What is Viveka? Who would like to begin? Smitaji, would you like to begin?
I would like to listen first.
All right. Who likes to go next? Krishnaji, Padmama?
Hela sir.
Kandita.
ವಿವೇಕ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಯಾವುದು ಸರಿ ಯಾವುದು ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ವಿಂಗಡಿಸುವಂತಹ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮತೆಗೆ ವಿವೇಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಇದು ಸರಿ ಇದು ತಪ್ಪು ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಇವಾಗ ಆತ್ಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅನಾತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಹೀಗೆ ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸುವಿಕೆ, ಅದು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜೀವಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ತಾನೇ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಆ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಸರಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆತ್ಮ ಅನಾತ್ಮ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಜಡ ಚೈತನ್ಯ, ಹೀಗೆ ವಿಂಗಡಿಸುವುದನ್ನ ಆ ಒಂದು ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅವಿವೇಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ.
ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಪದ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ, ನಿರ್ಣಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದು. ಸೊ ಎರಡೂ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇನಾ? ಯಾವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಒಂದು
ನಿರ್ಧಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಎರಡನ್ನ ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸುವುದು, ಅದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿರ್ಣಯ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಈಗ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದೇ. ಈಗ ದೇಹ, ಮನಸ್ಸು, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಜಡ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಈಗ ಪಂಚೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚನ ಜಡ ಅಂತ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಕಲ್ಲು, ಮಣ್ಣು ಹೀಗೆಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಇತರ ಜೀವಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸಹ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಚೈತನ್ಯವನ್ನ ನಾನು ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಚೈತನ್ಯದ ಮೂಲಕ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಹೀಗೆ ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸುವಿಕೆಗೆ ವಿವೇಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಆಮೇಲೆ.
ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಮ್ಮ. ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಜಿ?
Yeah. So I have slight, not fully understood, but this is my understanding about Viveka. So the ability to differentiate or distinguish between the
what is the word you use? Differentiate or distinguish. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Between the materialistic life and oneself, the Atma, the consciousness. So that is the ability we would call this particular feature or characters as Viveka. That's my understanding.
So you are saying the ability to distinguish what you call as Atma or myself from consciousness from others is Viveka.
Yes. Others, I mean the body, mind, intellect thing.
So which is not Atma.
Yeah.
Okay. So only that you call as Viveka.
Yeah, this characteristic, or yeah, that's how I think it is a Viveka.
Okay. Whereas
You,
what Padma Amma said is the ability to distinguish between right and the wrong, essential and the non-essential. So that can be, that's a very broader definition. So you are saying that it is only with respect to Atma and Anatma distinction.
yeah, so it is also like whatever Padma told. It will cover under this. I mean, like right or wrong means like we once we are able to clearly understand, so the dharma will be there about the consciousness. So then we would know what needs to be done, right? So
But in what needs to be done, you still
uh,
have to, for example, when you realize that you are Atman and what is not Atman,
mm,
when you are performing a particular role, imagine
mm,
you have to give somebody a milk. If you cannot distinguish milk from, say, buttermilk, then how will you be able to perform? Would that be called as Viveka or not Viveka?
no, not real. Not this actually. So
So
still we have to
you
use our.
differentiate the milk from the buttermilk. If let's say I have
uh,
two glasses, both look exactly similar,
mm.
that would not be Viveka.
Yeah, it is. It is also.
But there is no distinction of consciousness from the um, others, right?
Mm. So mostly, what is my understanding is like, yeah, that is all required. The body, mind. Still, we have to understand what it is in the external world, in terms of milk or any aspect we go through, going, traveling, what is different vehicle and those things. But still, we are not. We should be able to differentiate uh, what is what is needed there, and we have to perform that action without being kind of selfish thing. But still, as to operate in external world, we should understand the few fundamental things where we agree upon. This is milk which is in liquid state and white color, and if it turns to be quite a different taste, it's going to be uh, buttermilk, and then ghee or butter, right?
No, it's the butter first and then the ghee later.
Ah, yeah, butter and ghee. Yeah, kind
So
of this.
again, my question is very simple.
uh,
Would that distinction be called as Viveka or would it not be Viveka? If you have to define Viveka in very simple one or two phrases, what would you call it? What would it be? What is Viveka?
So as I told, right, for me, this is my understanding. So distinguishing between the consciousness and the materialist aspect, right? So
So
that is my,
going by that definition, then this distinction between milk and buttermilk would not be Viveka.
yeah, kind of.
Okay, so that is your current viewpoint.
Yes, that is my current understanding.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let's listen and then let's also understand.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishnaji. Smitaji?
Yeah. So my understanding of Viveka ability is the ability to distinguish, ability to judge, or ability to separate oneself from the situation, or ability to separate two situations, to be able to see uh, any situation in different uh, lights. Now then, deciding whether it is good or bad, or it is useful or not useful, it is no, for the separating it from that is later, but that ability is Viveka, is what I think.
So a fundamental ability to distinguish is a Viveka.
Yes.
So you are saying something very similar to what Padma Amma said.
Yeah. So yeah, because you were giving the example of the buttermilk and water.
Milk. I gave the example of milk
Correct.
and buttermilk.
Milk and buttermilk. So the ability to distinguish, other if I don't have that ability, ಲೈಕ್ ಬೈತೀವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ವಾ ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಹಾಲಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಇದು
Yes.
so when we say that it is, or when you see a child who has not yet fully developed, it will not know. Current socket ಗೂ ಕೈ ಹಾಕತ್ತೆ, no, it can ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಕುಡಿದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So it will not distinguish. That ability to distinguish is Viveka, which you develop.
Excellent. So in the most simplest sense, Viveka is ability to discern, or the ability to distinguish, or the ability to separate.
Discriminate.
Yeah, an analogy we can in our mind see is like a prism. On one side of the prism, white light comes. On the other side, the 7 colors in the white light appear. So the prism has split. What was not visible, it has made it visible. What appeared to be all one, it has unbundled. So it was bundled. White light was bundled. Now the 7 colors are unbundled. How? Because it passed through the prism. So that prism is Viveka. And where is that Viveka? Where is that prism? It's in your own mind. It's your own inherent power. It's the power what is referred as intellect. In that Viveka. So Viveka, like you already rightly said through examples, is something that you develop. Is something that you develop as you interact with the world, as you interact with different situations. And as you interact with the situations, you start developing Viveka in various aspects of life. See, the ability to distinguish is, in a way, very fundamental need. As a simple example which Smita ji gave, if a child doesn't understand what is a socket, where if I keep my finger, I will get shocked and that can cause bodily harm, to what is not a socket, is a very important Viveka to develop. What is to be consumed, what not to be consumed, is a Viveka to be developed. What is the right sound? For example, when you say somebody is a very good singer, they have developed the discernment to listen to different frequencies of sound. That's essentially the most fundamental Viveka that they have developed. They know the Shruti of Sa from the Shruti of Ri in different, say, vocal cards. And that is what makes them really be a master in music. Or to give another example, somebody who has developed a very good Viveka in taste, they can make different dishes very well, supposedly, if they exercise that. Because the ability to distinguish the sweet from the sour from the salty from the spicy is very important Viveka. So like that, any aspect of our life, if you look at it, you need to have that prism. What do you do with that prism? What is the decision you arrive at? And once when you arrive at the decision, what kind of an effect it is having on you is a later phenomena. So that is where, if I do not learn the right Viveka, for example, the ability to distinguish what is truth and what is not truth, Satya Asatya Viveka, if I do not develop that, what is Satya and what is Asatya, I continue to suffer in life. What is permanent, what is not permanent? So that is essentially what we say when we say that prayer, Asato ma sadgamaya. Take me from Asat to Sat, which means what? Help me distinguish, help me develop the Viveka of what is Asat, of what is Sat. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. What is tamas? Darkness, ignorance. To Jyoti, light. Mrityorma Amritangamaya. What is Mrityu? What is impermanent in life? What is permanent in life? That is also Viveka. That is of the highest nature of understanding. So, like that, whatever you and I may call as a very mundane, day-to-day Viveka, to very highest level of Viveka, that is, all of this is a spectrum of various Vivekas I need to develop. Only then can I function. See, just by knowing that I am an Atman, okay, I am Atman, I am unaffected, and I need nothing. That is excellent. That is the starting point. Realizing who I am truly is the starting point. But how am I bringing out that in action? And to bring it out in action, I definitely need the right kind of Viveka in the circumstance. That is where Sri Krishna, if you really look at it, the whole of Bhagavad Gita is all about teaching you and me various kinds of Viveka. First and foremost, about Atma Anatma, ability to separate the Atma from the Anatma, who I am truly and who I am not, which means the Atma Anatma Viveka. Then, how I should function in the world, Dharma Adharma Viveka. What is the right action to perform? What is the action to be avoided? Dharma Adharma. What is Dharma? What is Adharma? Like that, all through the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is developing your and my Viveka buddhi. He is giving us right kind of pointers. See, only when somebody comes to you and me and says, look, this is a socket, whereas something similar, round looking and all that, showing an example, is not a socket. Now, what is the socket contain? What the other things contain? When they explain and when they show us examples and maybe show examples of people who got affected because of the electrical shock, you and I develop the Viveka. Oh, this is how it functions. If I keep my finger, I receive something called the electrical shock. And electrical shock can be detrimental to the biological body. So all that Viveka we develop. Why? Because somebody took time to show us all that. Like that, here Sri Krishna is developing your and my Viveka about what you and I can call as the entirety of the existence. See, when you look at life, life is just one blob. There are 100 different philosophies of life, 100 different ways of looking at life. But the way of looking at life through the lens of Sri Krishna is the one that can help you and me to first and foremost become free in our mind from the confusion that we may carry about who I am and who I am not. And once when I am free in my mind, then when I look at situations, I can equanimously deal with the situation, and I can also learn how to differentiate the various grades of gray, as they say. In many cases, you may have heard, in life, there is nothing like white and black, right and wrong, because we are so used to right and wrong, good and bad. All these are very one-dimensional way of classifying life. But when you look at it, there are shades of gray. It's all nothing but something that is a shade of gray. Very dark appears like black. In lack of that shade appears as white. But in between, there are infinite varieties. So recognizing those infinite varieties is Viveka. And that helps you and me to function in life in whatever you and I do, whatever may be the function, any role you are performing. Please see, you can perform it to the best of your ability only when you develop the right Viveka. You may be a cook, you may be a software person, you may be a driver, you may be a mother, you may be a father, whatever may be the role you are performing. In that role, you need to know how to discern. And that fundamental capacity or that fundamental power that is inherent in you, which you need to develop though, through various these kinds of contemplation, not only in this Bhagavad Gita, but in any other life. Whether it is your professional life, in your professional life, you have to bring a similar approach to develop the Viveka in that professional particular sphere. So all of this is Viveka. Is this bringing clarity, Krishnaji?
Yeah.
All right. Anything now you would like to summarize?
No.
All right. Hari Om Guru Rohanji.
Sorry to join late, Vijay. Sorry, actually yesterday I was a bit busy with office activities, but slept late. So
No problem. No
try
need
to
to be
get in, but
sorry. No need to be sorry. Let's focus on what we need to do here now.
sure.
So, we started with question number 8. What is Viveka? Would you like to share any perspective on what is Viveka according to you?
Not much on that I know, but Viveka is the ability to distinguish what is to be done and what is not to be done at that moment. I can say in that way.
All right. Yeah. So that's the essential question that we discussed so far. So what is to be done and what is not to be done, before you decide to do or not to do, you need to know what is the situation I'm dealing with. So before you decide to do or not to do, so there is a power in your mind which you have to exercise to discern, to differentiate. And that fundamental power and that ability which you need to cultivate is called as Viveka. And Bhagavad Gita is all about teaching the Viveka, various kinds of fundamental Vivekas, fundamental discernment. See, to distinguish between salt and sour is an important thing, but that is not what Sri Krishna is teaching us here. He's teaching something more fundamental, which when we learn that fundamental, it will enable us to learn all other aspects. It's like by learning that. So there is a wonderful statement. Know that by knowing which you can know everything that is to be known. In other words, learn that fundamental, by learning which every other aspect of life can be learned easily. Is it even possible when we look at life? There seems to be 100 million things related to learning, knowledge. But there are some fundamentals, like how just by knowing the 7 swaras, in a way you know all that is there to know about music. If you have mastered the 7 swaras, in a way you have mastered the music. You may not know an exact song, but that is very easy to learn now. Or by knowing how to sound the aksharas, in a way you can read all the books because you know the aksharas. So like that, the fundamental of life is what Bhagavad Gita is teaching you and me, so that we can apply that fundamental in all other situations of life. All right. Any questions related to question number 8 or any other points by anyone else? Okay. If there is no other point, then let us take the next question. Question number 9.
Vijayji,
Yes, Smitaji.
so is Viveka and buddhi the same?
Okay. Buddhi or intellect is the power associated with the mind. What is buddhi? Buddhi is the power in your mind. See, what is mind? Nobody knows. But generally, the place where you think and where you decide is what you call as your mind. And as we have learned in the past, mind has 4 functions: mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. So just like how the external body has various organs, The mind in Sanskrita, in Vedanta, is called as Antakarana, inner instrument, inner body. That Antakarana has 4 functions: Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Mana is where all the sensations are coming. Buddhi is the one which judges. Chitta is where the memory is. And Aham is the sense of who I am, who I think I am. So when you look at the functioning of the mind, it is these 4 aspects, 4 fundamental features of the mind that come together that make anything happen. Out of these 4, what is buddhi? Buddhi is the one which decides. If I ask you, how many fingers am I holding? You will say 2 fingers. And versus now, if I ask you how many fingers, you will say 1 finger. So you have to decide. And to decide, you have to use certain criteria. When I held like this versus when I held like this, you have to use certain criteria, certain way of knowing what I'm asking. That knowing how to discern between this and this is Viveka. And after that, oh, it is 2, oh, it is 1. That is kind of a decision. So both these are in the buddhi only. So the if you kind of look at it like steps in decision making, what are the steps in decision making? First, I carefully consider what is the input that has come. So I analyze what is coming through my eyes. Okay, then I carefully look at how to answer this question. Okay, so now there is this and there is a white space and there is this. Oh, so this I can recognize as 2. Now I say the answer. So careful taking of the input, then careful analysis where I'm discerning is Viveka, and then I decide. Okay, I come to a conclusion. Yes, it is 2. Oh, yes, it is 1. Judgment. So all these 3 aspects are happening in a very simultaneous and in a very fast way in the place, in the functional space called as buddhi. So Viveka is the one which enables the buddhi to come to the right understanding. This is 2. This is 1. Otherwise, it may gobble up or it may mix up. Is this bringing clarity, Smitaji?
Yes. So it is part of the. So Viveka is a part of buddhi, which is bringing in that discerning quality.
Absolutely. Before the decision, see, for example, as a simple example of life, somebody comes and says, you, donkey. Now, if the right Viveka is not there, you, donkey, can immediately trigger a emotional reaction. You call me donkey, I'll call you monkey. Something like that. So, Viveka means what? So, knowing the context, knowing the sense in which, see, for example, let's say we are just having fun and somebody says, you donkey. Then, you know, that Viveka will tell you, no need to be worried. No need to be taking it so personally. Or even if there is a heightened argument and somebody says you are a donkey, the Viveka will help you to discern what is that is being said. What is the donkeyness that is being referred to? So all these are different shades, no? Of, you know, the simple same sentence, you are a donkey. But how do you analyze all of it? So the decision-making faculty is aided by Viveka.
Mm.
Clear?
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Smitaji. All right. So then let us take the next question, question number 9. So now the question number 9 is about us sharing our viewpoints on the following 5 Vivekas. So in a way, Sri Krishna, like I already said, through Bhagavad Gita, is helping you and I learn different kinds of Viveka, fundamental Vivekas, the fundamentals that we need to learn to discern in life. Here in chapter 3, it is about karma, the Viveka of the karma. What is the right karma? What is the wrong karma? How to perform karma? What karma binds me? What karma helps me to be in freedom? All the discernment is what Sri Krishna is teaching us through Karma Yoga chapter. So now, one of the outcome of clearly understanding and clearly practicing Karma Yoga is Samatva buddhi. So like that, there are 5 important Vivekas that we have listed here. Let's go one by one. Samatva buddhi. So let's contemplate now one. What is Samatva buddhi? What Viveka enables Samatva buddhi? What is the Viveka of Samatva buddhi? Is the question clear? Any question on the question itself? Anybody?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿದ.
Excellent, Amma. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ let us begin on the question. Samatva buddhi. ನೀವೇ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಮ್ಮ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ ಸಮತ್ವ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅರ್ಜುನನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಮತ್ವದಿಂದ ವರ್ತಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದೂ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರೋದು. ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗುವಂತಹದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಮೇಲೆ ಏರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳು ಇದು ಸಹಜ ಅಂತ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಒಂದು ಆ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಹೊಂದಿಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನ ನಾನು ಸಮಾಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಸಮತ್ವ. ಈ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ನಾನು ವಿಚಲಿತನಾಗದೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ವಿಚಲಿತನಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ವಿವೇಕ ನನಗೆ ಬೆಳೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಕೆಲಸ ಅದು ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವವನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾನು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನ ತಲುಪೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಡಚಣೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ
ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
ಸಮತ್ವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅದೇ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆವಾಗ ಆ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನ ತಲುಪಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಚಣೆಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತವೆ. ಅಡಚಣೆಗಳು ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸಬಾರದು. ಆ ಸ್ಪಂದನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಗುರಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಈ ಅಡಚಣೆಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲನೂ ನಾನು ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನ ತಲುಪೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಂಥವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತವೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪಂದನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಈ ಏರಿ ಇಳಿತಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದದ್ದೇ, ಬರುತ್ತವೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಸಮತ್ವ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸಮತ್ವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು
ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಹಾಕೋಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಬಹುದು. ಇನ್ನ ಪುನಃ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ತಾವು. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಮ್ಮ. ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಜಿ, would you like to share your view?
Yeah. So in this change, by the nature, the world is keep on, it's on motion and keep on changing. So samatva buddhi is something being equanimous in this change. By that, what I mean is, once we perform any action, to be fully focused on the target. So there might be, while being focused on performing karma, there will be a lot of distractions. As I told, it's a change is always constant. So we have to be focused on one thing without getting distracted. That is called samatva buddhi. So yeah, so being focused in this
Can you
changing
give any
nature.
examples?
Yeah. So when we are working or taking up any task professionally or even doing any work, so there might be a lot of distractions. Even in home, if you do any small activity like maybe cleaning home or like whatever it is, right? So there will be distraction like something is playing on TV, or someone might come in and something can happen, like ask for or do something. But our target is to keep the room, is to clean the room and keep it clean. So we should be focused on that. Instead, we should not
I have a
stop.
question on the example you're giving, Krishnaji.
Sure.
See, the word samatva means equanimity, right? Some kind of a balancing,
Yeah.
like a same. In the English, we have the word. It looks like it has probably taken the root sama only. The word same, sounds like sama. Okay. So sama means some kind of a balance. Whereas distraction you're talking about is a input to whatever
Mm.
you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
how is that a samatva?
So samatva, I mean, like, yeah, it is the same and being attentive and focused kind of thing. So distraction, why I'm or mentioning here is, uh, since there is a change in the world, there would be some other inputs which would distract us. Like if you listen something, or if you're doing work on fully focused, there might be some songs, or there might be some people doing, which would kind of drag us towards outside. So being understanding that, so that this is which this senses are getting pulled up, but we are engaged in particular activity. What is needed now, it is that we have to do this action, clean it house or do this task, right? So even though there are some other changes happening and there is some other sounds or whatever is coming up, one should be in focused on what we are doing, irrespective of the other changes happening. But we will understand what it is happening, but still our focus would be on the work, on completing that particular task. So this state of mind is called samatva buddhi. So that's how I understood.
All right. Okay, sure. So let's listen to the others and then come back again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krishnaji. Smitaji, would you like to share your view?
Yes. So, samatva means, as we described just now, equanimous, right? Balanced state. So, our buddhi, through our Viveka, we have developed the ability to distinguish. But while we have the ability to distinguish, we also have the ability, we also realize through Samatva buddhi is to maintain a balanced state, whether it both when you are seeing you are in the dilemma that this is too separate, but that also this is also keeping it saying that this is both are part of the same universe or as part of the same world, worldly objects that I am seeing. So having whether it is good or bad, the balance state saying that this too shall pass. There is a famous poetry, it's a poem which says this too shall pass, whether it is good or bad, you will pass both the phases. So it is nothing lasts, like that day and night, nothing lasts forever. So your hence your ability to respond to either of them uh, should be in a balanced state of that is what I see as Samatva buddhi.
Wonderful. Very nice. Thank you, Smitaji. Guru Rohanji, would you like to share?
Yeah, like Samatva buddhi is like the state of mind where the external factors or anything that will not deflect from our main goal or what exactly, like it is stable, kind of stable mind. Yeah, that is what like
Okay, wonderful.
those two. Yeah.
Thank you, Guru Rohanji. When you listen to the word Samatva, it means balancing, equanimous balancing. So to balance means there must be some kind of imbalance. There must be some kind of out of balance. So what is causing out of balance? So when you look at life as an example, there are all these dualities that appear in life. So good, bad. If let's say I am more oriented towards what, as an example, as a simple example, we keep talking about this example. Let's say I have a notion that people wearing black color dress are bad. People wearing white color dress are good. If let's say that is my way of looking at the world, then when I see black color people, I classify them as bad. When I see white people wearing white color dress, I classify them as good. And due to that classification, then I take actions. And in a way, I am creating a imbalance. Why? Fundamentally, I have not questioned whether this particular knowledge based on which I am deciding, is this true or not? I have not come to that clarity, but still I'm making decisions based on that. I am classifying life as good and bad, right and wrong. So when I do all these kinds of actions, or when I perform all these kinds of judgments, which lead to then subsequently the actions, they create imbalance. So Samatva buddhi is developing a buddhi, a Viveka of how to balance. So in life, everything appears in pairs of two. Where there is success, there is also failure. Where there is good, there is also bad. Where there is day, there is also night. Where there is yesterday, there is also tomorrow. So, like that, I have to look at the nature of life and distinguish these pairs, and to realize that the pairs is nothing but the same coin appearing as head or tail. What is past? past is nothing but in the present, you going and dipping into your memory bank and projecting that and looking at it. Is there really a past? Is there really a yesterday? Right now is the only reality. But in the present, the past is being projected. Is there a future? In reality, there is no future. In the present, it's only a projection about something that has not yet happened. So Samatva. So the past and the future are merely projections in the mind. Right now, here and now is the only reality. Is going to enable you to be in an equanimous state of mind. So as an example, many a times we get jittery when we go into the past. Oh, that happened. Oh, I shouldn't have done it. Oh, so sad. That is gone, bygone. Like the wonderful reference Smitaji gave, in the form of a story, a king went to a realized being and said, give me one simple phrase. Today I don't have time. I'm so busy in my kingdom. But give me some wisdom that I can carry in my life. It is applicable in all situations of my life. So the wise person gave him a piece of paper and he said, open this paper when you are utterly distressed, or open this paper when you're highly elated. This king thought, what a crazy person. I wanted something that he would tell me, but anyway, everybody calls him a wise person. So he took that chit of paper and kept it with him, went back. It so happened that, the neighboring king attacked and this king was banished. And he was in the jungle now. He has no kingdom, no possession, nothing. And suddenly it flashed in his mind, when I'm in utter distress. And he opened and it says, this too shall pass. Suddenly his mind became quiet, peaceful. Till then he was feeling very jittery, very angry, upset, and very nervous, fearful. All that disappeared. This too shall pass. This situation too shall pass. So then he started, once when he became peaceful, that is when he could really think properly. He started then thinking, okay, what shall I do next? Then somehow he gathered his strength. He once again built his army, once again went back and got his kingdom. And today is the day when he's re-entering his kingdom in a big procession. And he's so happy, so excited, so elated. Suddenly that flash of wisdom again came in his mind. When you're highly elated, and again he remembered, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. So the moments of happiness and sadness are nothing but life appearing to you through your mind as it's a happy situation or it's a sad situation. There is nothing in the situation. Situation doesn't have happiness written in it or sadness written in it. It is in the mind that you and I decide it is a happy situation, it's a sad situation. So this is here. And realizing that it is here that I am classifying something. What is that I'm classifying? Essentially, what is the situation of life? Essentially, a situation of life is nothing but what you are sensing through your five senses. A situation means there is some sight, there is some sound, there may be some smell, taste, touch associated with it. These five senses is what has come, and that is being analyzed in the mind and being classified as good situation, bad situation, happy situation, sad situation, should have happened, shouldn't have happened. Does it even make sense that it should? Yo, why did this happen? Does it even make sense? It has already happened. It is a water under the bridge. But in the mind, you and I continue to suffer. Yo, why did it happen like that? I shouldn't have done this way. It's a water under the bridge. So Samatva buddhi is identifying that life appears to you in all these kinds of shades, and to realize that they are nothing but same appearing as different. White light here, 7 colors through the prism. Is there really 7 colors? There is one white light which has no color indeed, appearing as these 7 colors. Why? Because it went through the prism. If there was no prism, there is no separation. It is in the mind that you and I are looking at the same situation and classifying it as good, bad, should have happened, shouldn't have happened, happy, sad. All this is like the prism splitting the light and then getting fixed on one spectrum. If I say that only red is the reality, would you not call me a immature person? Would you not call me an idiot? Why? Because you will tell me, look, there are 7 colors. You are just simply fixing your eye on one color. Just step back, see all the 7 colors, and just look at the prism and look at the white light. See, it's the white light appearing as the 7 colors because of the prism. Otherwise, there is indeed no 7 colors. Samatva is realizing all these shades, all these variations in different aspects of life, and realizing that it is the one which is appearing as all these. To be able to distinguish is Viveka. To be able to see the one is Samatva. Such a wonderful analogy, this prism. When you look at this side of the prism, 7 colors, that ability to see the 7 colors is Viveka. And at the same time, the Viveka is to also see this one light appearing as a 7. Then the buddhi will be equanimous, will be at peace. At peace, you still need to discern and you still need to decide. But the decision is now bereft, or it is not going to cause emotional turmoil. Like a skilled surgeon, he will use the knife to cut away something that is not needed. During that process, he or she is not going to be emotionally turbulent. Ayoyo, I'm cutting somebody's hand. Ayoyo, I'm cutting somebody's heart. What will happen? That turbulence will not be there. Whereas a thief or a murderer has a turbulence. You have caused this. I'm going to take revenge. So there's an emotional turbulence. So the action which can be performed in a peaceful state of mind. And what is causing that peaceful state of mind is the realization that life appears in various shades, various frequencies, but it is the same fundamental frequency, fundamental energy, which is appearing as different forms of energy. What is paper? What is tree? What is seed? The paper is nothing but the tree. Tree is nothing but the seed. And what is seed? Seed is nothing but energy. So like that, everything in life is energy. And energy is nothing but, it's some kind of a vibration. There are different grades of energies, which you call as electromagnetic frequencies, different frequency levels. But that fundamental frequency, fundamental zero, is appearing in various frequencies. So like that, once when you and I realize that there is no, in a way, there is no reality to all these appearances. But you and I need to still learn to differentiate the appearances. That is Samatva Buddhi. Hari Om. Is this bringing clarity? Any questions?
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. Anybody has any question on what's been said so far, or any additional points or alternate points to bring up? Krishnaji, is this bringing clarity?
Yeah, please.
Wonderful. All right. So then, if there are no additional questions or additional points, we can end our contemplation for today here. We will continue the from Swadharma Buddhi in our next session. I encourage all of you to listen to Prabhuji's talk and use these questions as a guide to, okay, what is Swadharma Buddhi? So look at it. And then, because this one, understanding Swadharma, is a very important Viveka. What is Swadharma? One of the most fundamental aspect. Once when you and I realize it properly, then the next ones are very, very clear. Each of the 5 is an excellent guide, excellent gem to guide your and my life. Hari Om.